Hi everyone, today I'm talking to Janelle Johnston. Many of you will know her, and she likes to be known as JJ, and I probably don't need to introduce her to a lot of you because a lot of you are probably very familiar with her, but how are you, Janelle?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm good. As I said before, I've got butterflies in my tummy.
I don't know why. We're just going to have fun.
Yeah, we are. All right. As I said, most of the viewers, many of the viewers will already know you throughout the traps in Geelong. Tell us a bit, for those who don't know, tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, and your connection to Geelong.
Yeah, well, I've been living in Geelong for about 22 years now. So I absolutely love it. Like, I'm just an advocate for the region. Just absolutely love Geelong. And so I came to Geelong. I had my first business in Geelong, which was in recruitment and training. So I've always loved developing people, always loved it. So I've been really fortunate, Matthew, in working with a lot of really amazing companies at senior levels. And the one part of every company that I've worked at that I've loved is people. And I've loved seeing people develop and grow. So I built a business from it. And, I love people coming in and, from whether it be public speaking or business skills, coming in and maybe a bit green or like, oh, I really, maybe I'm a bit nervous, got butterflies in my tummy, I'm a little bit, fearful of public speaking, and to be able to develop those people and for them to come into a room and in 2 days, start off with, oh, I feel sick in regards to public speaking, to 2 days later wanting to own the stage, So my business is all about developing people in training. I've got a few, and I know we'll probably dive deeper into this a little bit later, but I have different trainings that I do, from public speaking training to business training. I have a mentorship that I run for 12 months for business owners. And I do my one-on-one coaching as well, and video training as well. So, and then I've got a retreat happening next year as well. So we've got lots happening. It's exciting.
I think it's fantastic that you are into developing other people, like seeing them grow, nurturing them, and seeing them, as you said, they might be shy little turtles when they come in.
Yeah,
and they'll come out, because you do more than speaker coaching. You're known as a speaker coach, but there's more to it than just it's personal and professional development. And I think that's wonderful, seeing people change like that for the better, for coming out of their shells and thriving. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, even public speaking on its own, Matthew, is so much more than. Sometimes I think people are like, okay, so public speaking is understanding what you're going to say, stand up and speak, and being able to move your hands in a certain way. But it's so much more than that, because it's your voice, and it's your voice not only in a professional sense, but it's your voice in life. And once one of the biggest questions I have in regards to public speaking is, how do I get rid of nerves? And the one thing I say to them is, stop making it about you and make it about your audience, and serve your audience. Because once you do that, your nerves just dissipate. But it's also about having a really great relationship with yourself and loving who you are. And I know that probably sounds, cheesy or whatever it is, but, you can't run from yourself. So, you live with you. And so if you can build an amazing relationship with yourself, that because we're talking to ourselves every single day out loud in our head, what are we saying to ourselves? Is it empowering us? Is it saying shit to ourselves? And even, those people that have been in past relationships, whether it be a domestic violence relationship, whether it be that their parents or someone, when they were young, berated them when they were little. Often what happens is that people have these words in their head that that person was abusing them in some way, and they continue to abuse themselves. And so even though the relationship's gone, so maybe they're not in a domestic violence situation anymore, they're still saying the same stuff to themselves. So it's so important for us to, be our own best coach and love who we are and nurture who we are and speak to ourselves like we are our own best friend.
I often get people messaging me or advising me that they don't feel like they got anything to say. And I said, because they don't have that experience, others do. But I always encourage them, you do have that experience because you are you. Your life experience is unique to you.
Absolutely.
And from what you're describing, it's very therapeutic as well. So it's like a bit like therapy because they're overcoming those obstacles that they've put in front of themselves.
Yeah, and I think, what you've just said, Matthew, is really important because I believe that everyone has a real gift. And so, Matthew, your strengths may be different to my strengths. And we're, and we are so unique, we're as unique as our thumbprint or fingerprint. And we all have something to offer the world. And so I think once you really get in touch with that, and then be able to share that with the world in whatever way that's possible, I think that's really important. And so, we are amazing creatures. And I think that if we can tap into our gifts and be able to share those with the world in whatever capacity, I think that's a beautiful thing. And everyone's got a story. And you said some people don't think they've got anything to say, or I get that all the time. And then once you start talking to them, and they have so many, because no one's lived your life or my life. We all were born, we all grew up, we had different parents, different places that we lived, different books that we've read. We've all got different knowledge and different insights and different experiences that we can share with the world. So everyone's got an amazing story. I think it depends how you look at it. And so if people are saying, I haven't got a story, or I'm boring, or, there's nothing interesting about me, I bet you that other people think you're friggin' interesting. And you've got the gifts that they would love.
And you do wonder how those obstacles were put in place. Like, I'm really into this almost the psyche of why people are where they are, why they think the way they think.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that in some ways that you unlock those boundaries.
Yeah, it's those limiting beliefs of what we think is true within ourselves. And so, a lot of those beliefs, Matthew, we've developed those or created those at the age of 5 to 7. So if you think of you're 5 years old and someone could have said something to you and you made it mean that it was true, or you created this idea in your mind. So, for instance, when I was young, I often would say to myself, I'm not creative. I can't draw. And I created that belief when I was really little because my cousins used to sit there and draw, and they draw all the characters of Mickey Mouse, and they do it really easily. And I remember I started my first drawing and it looked nothing like theirs. And so I had this belief, well, I can't draw because look how quickly they did it. But at that age, I didn't realize how much they practiced. Right? I've done it once and I'm thinking, I want to be like them. And I had this limiting belief that I can't draw. But if I question that belief and say, hold on a minute, how much practice have you had? Have you gone to lessons? So who says that I can't be a Picasso, right? I could be an amazing drawer. But if I continue with that limiting belief that I can't draw, then I may not do anything about it, and then I'll just stick with it and say, well, I can't draw. And people do that with speaking. People do it with in business. I'll say, I can't be a business owner because I've never been one before, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not businessy enough, or my family have never had a business. So they have these limiting beliefs around themselves and even around the world. Like, I'm talking to people right now, and I had a client last week who I said to her, we were talking about the world and what's happening in the world. And I said to her, you need to double your prices. And she's like, what? Double my prices in a pandemic? And I said, absolutely you do, because you've had your business for this amount of time. This is what you offer. You have so much value. This is where the marketplace is in regards to where your prices should be. You are so beyond, you are so, lower, much lower than that. I need you to take your prices from $1,000 to $2,000. Now, Matthew, she was like, I can't do that. So we worked through it, and she rang me. No kidding. She rang me the same day. She got 2 clients for $2,000 each. So therefore, she doubled her money, right? So she would have normally got $2,000. She got $4,000. And then the next day, she messaged me again and she said, you won't believe it, I've got 2 more. So she then had $8,000 worth of sales, and she would have had $4,000 worth of sales just based on the limiting belief that the marketplace must, people haven't got any money, so they can't pay. And so that limiting belief has held her back. And also in regards to her time, because she was saying to me one of the things that she wanted was more time in her life. She's working a lot of hours. And I said, that's going to help with time, because now you can see half the amount of people and you get the same money. And she's like, shit, that's, that's a good, and that's what she's done. So it's those, those limiting beliefs that hold you back in the success of your business. And often you don't even realize what those limiting beliefs are. And that's why I say to people, you have to have a coach, because they will challenge you. I can't stop hearing language. So if I talk to someone and they'll say something like, I'm a bit old for that. And you'll say, straight away. I go, they've got a limiting belief about age, or they have a limiting belief about being a female or a male, or there's these limiting beliefs that are so in our unconscious mind that we don't even realize that they're there. And unless we shake it up, unless I scratch the record and say, hold on a minute, is that really true? Because with our beliefs, Matthew, we've got so much evidence that they're true. It's like, yeah, it is true. It is true. It's about my age. It is, because I went for this job in 1980 and they said, no, you were too old. See, I've got that time. I've got this time. I got someone saying, oh, you're looking a little bit tired. I reckon they were saying I was old, So it's all this evidence that we all do to back up our beliefs. And so it's really challenging sometimes to shake it up, because you're wanting to defend your belief and go, no, it is true. But once you break up those limiting beliefs, then it opens up a world of opportunity for you.
Yes, I see it's also about stepping outside our comfort zones.
Yeah.
Because I got that image in my head about the kid who's flailing in the water, and he's on his stomach, he's flailing in the water, and someone says, just put your feet down. And the water's really shallow.
Yeah.
It's not always that scary outside our comfort zone. It's just a little bit further and we just push ourselves that a little bit further. Who would have thought, like even a year ago, that I would be sitting here interviewing people?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in my comfort zone, but I thought, I found that there's been wonderful things if I've just pushed myself that little bit further outside my comfort zone. And we're not going to always get it right the first time.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be afraid to keep trying. Like, just
Yeah.
practice, as you said before. Practice.
Yeah. And I think the thing that we sometimes think is that mistakes aren't a great thing,
Yeah,
or failing at a task is not a great thing. But I believe they are great things, because I often say to my clients, if you're not failing or you're not making mistakes, then you are not stretching yourself far enough, because it means you're playing safe. And I loved watching you, Matthew, when you first started your videos, and when you're saying, "Oh, I'm not quite used to this, doing all of this," and that shows that you're stepping out there, and because a lot of people won't do it, they'll stay in their comfort zone, and so once you stretch yourself, and you might make mistakes, but that's a good thing, because you can't learn something that you've never done before without making mistakes. I say to guys, I've been speaking and running my events for many years. I've been a trainer since I was 21, and I'm making mistakes all the freaking time. Right? And I laugh at myself, right? And again, it's that relationship that you have with yourself. But if I'm not making mistakes, that means I'm just playing it safe. And who wants that? And it also means that I can't help as many people as I want to, because I'm playing it safe. And I think one thing that we don't realize is that we can be such an influence on others. And so, Matthew, when you first started out doing your videos, and when you're saying, "Oh, I'm getting used to this, I haven't done this before," you actually don't realize how many people that you inspire in those moments, because they suddenly they feel and they go, "Wow, he's doing it. Oh, well, he hasn't done it before. Or maybe I can do it." And you give them some confidence, and you inspire people to go, "Well, maybe I'll give that a go too." Warts and all, and so you don't have to. I think sometimes we think there's this ideal of perfectionism, and perfectionism is just a standard that you'll never reach. No one will ever reach.
that brings up the other topic when you were talking about. Reminded me of this day and age where people. You said perfectionism. People are almost striving for that, when a lot of the time I see it as not real. Like, does that make
Yeah,
sense? Like
yeah,
social media, Instagram, and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, well, a lot of people say, "Oh, they're waiting for that really, really slick, edited sort of video type thing to present themselves to people." And I'm thinking, well, my argument is our customers see us the way we are now.
yeah,
When they come to our door, they'll see us the way we are. Warts and all, we're not, yeah, we don't know how they see us, but
yeah,
they're loving us for who we are. So
yeah,
why pretend? Like, why try to be something else that you're not? And also that's why I found that a lot of people hesitate to get in front of the video or get in front of the microphone, because, well, they hate their voice, they hate their face. Not, but that's what our customers see.
yeah.
We
And
can't
again,
change that.
that's right. And again, that's that relationship with who you think you are. And I did a post today on Facebook in regards to asking, what is your photo face? Now, what does your photo face look like? And I'm hoping that's going to spark a question in people's mind to go, what do I do when someone takes a photo, right? So some people might turn a certain way because they think that angle's better than standing in front. Some people may smile and not show their teeth because they don't think their teeth are at a standard that it should be. Some women, I don't know, men, some women, pucker up their lips, like that. And so they're trying to be someone that they think they need to be for other people. And I think the more we can really love who we are, warts and all, I say it how it is, that this is who I am, and You know, sometimes I'll get on Facebook or on a Facebook Live and I've got no makeup on. This is me. This is raw. And I think we're living in a day and age. Yes, we do have, I suppose, we've got polarizing looks because we've got, yes, the perfect person with the perfect makeup and the perfect house and the little dog and, you know, all that sort of stuff. But then on the other side, we've got that rawness. So we have videos, you know, that I've never seen, you know, in years and years ago. I've never seen people without their makeup on. Like I saw Ricky Lee the other day, who was on.
You're breaking up.
Oh, I'm breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking. Sorry. There you go. You're back.
All right, I'm back.
That was all garbled. I don't know what I can do with that, but that's all right.
I just said, you know, I saw Ricky Lee the other day on Instagram, and she's got, you know, no makeup on. She's raw. And it's beautiful to see someone just, you know, this is just who they are. And the more we can, and again, it's just about the relationship we have with ourselves. And we don't need to be a certain way. You know, it's about being who we are, true to ourselves. And I think that's the other thing is when we're putting ourselves on social media, we've got business or whatever. Again, it's what are we putting out there? There doesn't, you know, for me, I'm always thinking about serving others. It's how can I do a quote or how can I do a video that's going to help someone else out there? And it's proven. If you think about people that do depression, when they're doing depression, they're thinking about self. And so if you can shift, or anxiety, they're thinking about self. If you shift thinking about yourself to serving others, then everything shifts.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself an extrovert?
Yeah, I am. But then I'm also, I balance. So I think that, you know, there's still times where I just love being at home on my own. Particularly, I've been used to it right now. Reading a book, being on the beach. I love my own company. I love my own company. So I am so happy just on my own, on the beach, reading a book. So there's that downtime. I'm not always on and always, you know, out there. But I am extrovert too. I love being with people. You know, I love connecting with people. That's where I get my energy from.
Do you think that can be also learned or trained behaviour as well, with regards to people who are naturally introverted in certain circumstances can come out of that shell and become a little bit more extroverted with regards to the coaching you provide and stuff like that?
I think there's a difference between introvert and extrovert and confidence and non-confidence. So, a lack of confidence, I should say. So introvert is when you get your energy from being on your own, and an extrovert is when you're getting energy from others. Confidence, you can be confident, and so you can be an introvert and be confident at the same time. And I think there is a misconception about introverts, because I think how many times people will say to me, particularly from the public speaking point of view, they'll say, oh, yeah, but I'm an introvert. And I say, you know what? Some of the best speakers are introverts. You don't need to be an extrovert to be a great speaker. Absolutely not. So you go through the same skills and attributes you need to be a great speaker. It doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. In fact, you've got strengths and watch-outs, I call them, with both. Because an introvert may be, one of their watch-outs may be they don't move around enough, or their voice may be very stagnant, rather than playing around with your tonality of your voice. It can be very monotone. And so that's what I play around with some introvert people. Not all, but some people can have that monotone voice. So we might make it loud sometimes and then soft sometimes, and then it might go higher pitched and a deeper pitch. And whereas an extrovert sometimes walks around too much, moves their arms too much. And so, so you've got the strengths and you've got the watch outs for each individual person. So, so an extrovert, from a public speaking point of view or a leader in a business, is no no better than an introvert. It is a real misconception that people have out there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to just explore a little bit deeper, not too deep, but a little bit deeper into your how and why you came to where you are right now. Like, what motivated you to become a speaker coach? How did you arrive at this situation?
Yeah, there's lots of defining moments in my life, and they're moments in time where I've had a lot of growth. I've always, as I mentioned, I've always loved helping people and seeing people grow. And that stemmed from probably when I was young and I used to dance. And so I used to help as a dancer, I used to help the little kids dancing. And so I'd teach the dancing and I'd see them progress and their eyes would light up when they've learnt something and they felt confident. So it would have stemmed from there. And then there were different defining moments in my life where there were even some tragedies in my life. So I lost my dad when I was 17, when he had lung cancer. And that was a time when, my dad one of his sayings he would say to me is that there's no such word as can't. All right. So you can do anything. He believed that I could do anything. Right. And so that's where I started to be independent. And then as, I got married and I started, we went to have a baby and we lost our baby when I was 7.5 months pregnant. And again, that was a defining moment in my life because it was like I had to really tap into me because, and I didn't realize how strong I actually was. And so all those moments when I, tapped into my independence, when I lost my dad, when, I lost our baby Raymond, it was like, I'm really tough. Like I've got strength that I didn't know that I had. And so that combined with helping people and watching people come into a room, shitting themselves and saying, they're saying I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough speaker. I'm not something enough. So I'm not old enough, young enough, smart enough, pretty enough, good looking enough, sexy enough, whatever enough. And I'm like, you are enough. And I'd look at them and think, can you not see that? And then being able to work with them so that that suddenly speak to themselves in a beautiful way, and everything changes. When you do that, everything changes. Your relationships change because you feel more confident and you love who you are more. So therefore, the relationships you have with others are better. You then have more inspiration and more empowerment to maybe start your own business, or even if you've already got a business, to be able to go to that next level because you believe in who you are and what you're capable of, and you believe that you can do anything. You just have to learn the right skills and know the right path, and you'll get there. So it's all stemmed from experiences in my life, but and seeing people grow. And I think people have a misconception that things take a long time. Some people say, oh, well, one day. No, things can change in an instant. If you change your thinking, you change your life, like literally. So, and changing your habits are really important. I have some really amazing habits that I have in regards to learning and to really keep my mindset really powerful every day. So I teach those to my clients because, again, your mind, Tony Robbins, who's an amazing peak performance coach, he'll often say that if you want to achieve a goal, 20% is strategy and 80% is psychology. So you can know exactly what you should be doing, but if your psychology isn't right, then you're not going to achieve it. And so that's what I work with my clients.
There's many ways to help people, and I know that that's your motivation. Why did you go down the path of speaker coaching?
Well, that's where, it all goes together, everything I do. So I do speaker coaching, but then I do one-on-one coaching and business coaching, and it's all around mindset. Speaker coaching, one thing with speaker coaching is that's one of people's biggest fear over death, as they say. So the fear is huge because of this. That's it. So that's where it taps into the mindset. And as I said, it's so much more than public speaking, because it's about how you see yourself and your relationship with yourself. And then that stems out to everything else. So, you know, for you to get on a video and just go, I'm just going to do it, like, and love it. Not just, well, do I have to do it? Do I have to stand on stage? Do I have to have a meeting with 3 people and stand up and talk? Do I have to? No, I get to, and I love it. And because I'm sharing whatever you want to share with those people. So it's that relationship that you have around doing it, and the relationship that you have with yourself. So that's why speaking is just one avenue, but it is highlighted when people have a relationship that they want to heal or build with themselves. It shows up in public speaking.
Fantastic. Now that's a great segue into how people can get in touch with you, what you've got coming up with regards to your sessions, your courses, or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, there's a few things that we've got on the go right now. We're pretty busy. We've got Empowered Speaker. So that's a 2-day public speaking course, which is fabulous. You learn about not only how to structure a speech, not only how to stand up and move, so how you move your body, move your arms, the different characteristics that you go into. So there's different characters that you go into so that you bring light and shade into your speaking. The language that you use, that's really important. How you structure your speech, as I said before. So that's a 2-day course, and that's coming up in December. And then we have our masters, which is the next level up. So that's when you get on video and you create your own video, a professional video that we get, you know, your branding and everything on. And you do that for your business. And we also have a hair and makeup and all that sort of stuff there. And you learn how to really facilitate a room as well. So if you get up and speak, if you want to do group coaching sessions or group trainings, you learn how to do that. We've also got Business Breakthrough Mastery, which is a 12-month group mentoring group. And we get together every 3 months for 2 days. And we set goals, 3-month and 12-month goals. And each quarter that we get together, we look at all different areas of your business. So, for instance, we've got December coming up. They're doing sales and negotiation, time management. We're doing a time matrix. But all the other ones, we do human behavior, so behavioral profiling, so understanding what makes people tick. They create a podcast. They create their own online training program in one of the sessions. So each of the quarterly get-togethers, which 2 days we get together, we work on different things in their business, but always looking at their 3-month and 12-month goals every time. And then we also have only for 5 people though. I do 5 people at a time, one-on-one coaching. So that's the Platinum Peak Performance Coaching, which I've got 3 spots for at the moment. And we do one-on-one coaching for 3 months, and we get together every fortnight, and we get together for 2 hours, and we do breakthrough sessions. And so that's really that personalised service. And then lastly, I've got a retreat. So I've got a retreat happening next year. We're still finalising things, but hey.
You got lots going on.
I know, the retreat is really exciting. It has been put off because of the pandemic. But that should be happening in November now, and it's a self-expression retreat, which is so exciting. This is about you just understanding who you are, but tapping into all the different personality styles. So we've got things like painting. We've got things like we have an experience with the horses, which is just phenomenal. We have a cooking MasterChef cooking class. So you're doing all these different things that taps into some things you'll go, oh, for me, cooking's easy. So MasterChef is like, yeah, I love that. But I get a little bit scared with horses. So that's something that, that's a little bit of a fear for me. And we're even looking at doing surfing. And that was something like, oh my goodness, I'm a little bit fearful of the water. But again, it's stretching your comfort zone, as you said before, Matthew. It's how you grow. And so we've got all these different activities that, some of them will go, oh yeah, that's easy, but some of them will be a stretch. Things like karaoke and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got some really fun stuff that we're doing.
Fantastic. Sounds like you're a busy girl.
Yeah.
Just I love the idea of the before and after. Can you just quickly, to finish off, can you give us something that you remember as a journey one of your clients has been through, the transformation that they've been through? Can you give us an example without going to specifics, names and all that sort of stuff? But we'd love to see that journey, as in brief.
Yeah. Well, there's one beautiful, beautiful client that comes to mind, and this was interstate, and she came into the room and she was so fearful of public speaking, to the point where we had a one-on-one meeting together. And we had this one-on-one meeting, and it was in a room, and there were some people at the end of the room, and she came in shaking, and she said, I think I'm going to have an anxiety attack because I'm so fearful to even have this one-on-one with you. So this is where she started. We worked through, she did the Empower Speaker training. She then went on to do the Masters. She did a video. She did a video without any notes whatsoever. So she did this beautiful professional video. I actually use that in a lot of my trainings now to show how far people have come. She has an amazing business. She's working with celebrity chefs across the country. She's been on TV. She's working with, in partnership with different celebrity chefs. She has big groups that come to her property, and she's just, from where she started, I can still see her walking in the room with this nervousness about how she's even fearful to just even talk to me one-on-one, to now standing on stage with her headphone on with a celebrity chef next to her. It's just phenomenal to see her. And I've got many stories like that. One of the ladies that I've got she said to me, I hate social media, can't do it. And we worked one-on-one together, and she went full on with social media, and straight away she got an opportunity to speak in Dubai. And so she went over to Dubai, and then she suddenly got all these speaker spots. And in her industry, she's in the dental industry, one of her goals at the start of when we started working together, she said, I really would love to gain the attention of this person who is someone big in the dental industry. And so we worked on her social media, and then she got contacted by the business that represents this person to say that he wanted her on his podcast in the US. And it was like, what the? So we've got many stories like that, just, from where people go. Business breakthrough, I will say this one because I'm really excited about this one too. Actually, I got two. But in Business Breakthrough Mastery, we had, so we're coming to the end of the year now. So as I said, we get together every quarter. So we're up to December. We have one beautiful lady who at the start of the year, which is in February, we got together. She said, I've got this crazy idea to do this video in regards to domestic violence. She's now created this movie, and she's won awards for it in the US, I think it's Japan, but she's won about 6 awards now internationally, and she's just got one in Australia for her movie. She's now an award-winning director and award-winning producer, is that right? And writer of the movie. And my other beautiful lady who started her business in February has just turned over 6 figures. And so that was last week. 2 weeks ago we spoke. So that's in October. So from February to October, she's turned over 6 figures and has now got a waiting list for her program that she's got. So those sorts of things, and that's not about me. It's about, yes, I think working with any coach is so important because I think that they accelerate where you want to go because they get you to think bigger. And these guys have committed to it. I don't take everyone in my programs because I take people that are like, yes, I want it. I'm hungry for it. I'm going to work smart, not harder. And when they're hungry for it, they get the results. And those guys absolutely did. And I'm really, really proud of them.
Sounds like they're smashing it.
They are smashing it. They're amazing. And they're helping so many people, which I think that's one of my values is, I love working with people that help other people. Yeah. I'm working with an author at the moment who's got an amazing book. And she can just help so many people because of her story and her beautiful experience that she's got in social working and stuff like that. So, the more successful they are, the more people they help. And that's just a beautiful ripple effect that we can have in business.
Yeah, fantastic. Sounds really rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Janelle, it's been a real pleasure to have you on. Thank you for taking the time to come and talk to us.
It's been fun. Thank you for having me. And I love these chats.
I was nervous at the start, but you made it easy, really easy.
Well, you made it easy. You interviewed me. And sometimes, and I say to people, that nervousness that sometimes we feel, if we say that it's excitement, then, so again, how we speak to ourselves, if we say, oh, I've got butterflies in my tummy, that's excitement happening. Yeah. It just shifts your focus again. It just completely shifts. It's like, I am excited. And it is important for me that, that we're doing this today. So it's good that you had those, those butterflies in your tummy. Yeah, because it's excitement.
Yeah. And it comes, and after you get chatting for a while, it just comes naturally as a conversation anyway. So
yeah, that's right. And I think what you're doing, Matthew, is great. I've seen a few of your videos that you've done, and because every person has something to offer, and I think it could be just one little nugget of information that you or your guests can give that can help somebody. And I think that's particularly now where people are really craving connection. If they can have that nugget of information, of inspiration, or whatever it is, so you're doing a really great service for the community.
I think we talk to a lot of people on social media via comments and comments and posts and all that sort of stuff. But coming face to face with them, if we can't come face to face with them over a coffee, which is one-on-one, the next best thing is video. But to broadcast it to much more people who want to listen, it connects that person even that much more. That's why I'm doing it, because it's forming the connection, not just for me, but everyone who wants to have a look later on. Yeah. It just gives them it introduces them a little bit better. That's all.
Yeah, and I think everyone values from it. So me speaking to you, getting that's value for me because I'm getting your insight and how you see things, and then that sparks interest of ideas for me. So we're always learning from each other if we're open to it. So I think that doesn't matter who you are, and I think sometimes one thing I do say to people is that be really mindful, and again it's about that relationship that you have with yourself, is that you don't put anyone like on a pedestal or you don't put yourself, on a pedestal. We are, one of my old bosses said to me, I never forget it, because I used to get really nervous when he used to come into a store when I was an area manager at Just Jeans, and I used to get quite nervous, and I never forget it. He said, you know what? I bleed the same way you bleed. And I'm like, yeah, you do, right? And so sometimes I think, when we put people on a pedestal, so we say you are better than me, then that means that you are saying I'm inferior to you. And if you flip it and you say, hold on, I'm better than you, and I hear that too. So particularly from a public speaking point of view, sometimes people will say, oh, but what about if people know more than me in the room? And then I'll say, isn't it awesome? Because then let's learn together, right?
We could talk about this all day. I should let the viewers know, that we're getting off now. We can talk after but I will I will practically pretty much sit here all day. Not that we've got time to do that, but I could sit here all day talking about that sort of stuff. So I'll sign us off now.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Janelle. It's been a pleasure. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Matthew. Bye. See you.